Hello. Greetings. Greetings, everyone. Oh, it's so great to see so many people and so many familiar faces. My name is Deborah Cullinan, and I am the Vice President for the Arts here at Stanford University, and I am so very pleased to welcome you all here to this symposium, IMU UR2 Art, Aesthetics, and Asian America. This symposium, yeah? Yay! I do, thank you. The symposium is part of Stanford's Asian American Art Initiative, which has been and is co-imagined, co-visioned, co-led by Marci, Kwon, and Elisa Pitchamar Alexander. So a big shout out to both of you for your extraordinary vision. We also acknowledge that this really builds on growing momentum and decades of work that really is about Asian American art and creativity and scholarship and activism. I want to take a few minutes just to acknowledge and thank the people and partners who made this possible. It's a bit of a list, so I'm going to read from my phone. So to organize the program, the Cantor Art Center collaborated with the Institute for Diversity in the Arts and Stanford Live with funding from the Stanford Arts Incubator Pilot Program. This symposium is made possible through support from the Terra Foundation for American Art. The conference, now this is really exciting to me, this conference, get ready, is co-sponsored by the American Studies Program, Center for Asian Health Research and Education, Center for Comparative Studies in Race and Ethnicity, the Center for East Asian Studies, Center for South Asia, Department of Art and Art History, Department of East Asian Languages and Cultures, Department of History, Stanford Medical Humanities and Arts Program, Stanford Program in Modern Thought and Literature, as well as Christine Chan and Bryant Lin. So proud to have so many people coming together to make this possible. In addition to Marci and Elisa, I do want to especially take a moment to thank the people who have been working tirelessly behind the scenes to bring this to life. A special shout out to Ellen O and Eddie Dye. Thank you so much for what you're doing, and to all of you who've helped make this possible. While you're here, I hope you will also visit the related exhibitions at the Cantor and the Anderson, so East of the Pacific, At Home on Stage, Faces of Ruth Asawa, and solo exhibition Stephanie Suhuko, White Balance Color Cast. So please make time to see these extraordinary exhibitions. And before I turn this to Marci, I just want to say thank you to all of you and to those who came before. A few weeks ago, we launched the Asian American Art Initiative and the exhibitions that I just spoke to. And I know I was not alone, but I was deeply moved by the community of people that gathered around and joined us to celebrate. And I was very struck by the generations of people that it has taken to move us to this place where we together are acknowledging and moving forward and supporting Asian American art and scholarship and research. It takes generations. We would not be here without all of you and those who came before. So thank you so much for this and for helping us to do the best that we can do with this work. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Marci.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for coming out. So to begin, I want to acknowledge that Stanford occupies the ancestral land of the Muwekma Ohlone tribe. This land was and continues to be of great importance to the Ohlone people. Today, the Muwekma Ohlone tribe seeks federal recognition and the restoration of its stolen homelands. The Asian American Art Initiative supports these petitions and urges you to visit muwekma.org for more information. Leland Stanford created this university with wealth generated by the Transcontinental Railroad. Built in large part by Chinese migrant laborers, the railroad was a quote, core infrastructure of continental imperialism, in the words of historian Manu Karuka, and enabled the theft of indigenous land in violation of indigenous life. There is no separating the history of Stanford, the histories of Asian America, and the histories of American imperialism, exclusion, and racism. They are one and the same. So, welcome to IMU UR2, Art, Aesthetics, and Asian America. I'm Marci Kwon, and together with Elisa Alexander, I co-direct the AAAI. And thank you to everyone for being here in person in the midst of an ongoing global pandemic. And thank you especially to the elders and activists who have struggled for Asian American lives and art and culture, including Stanford's class of 1991, which fought for Asian American studies on campus and continues to support it today. And thank you especially to Mark Dean Johnson, Gordon Chang, Margot Machida, and others who've been doing this work for decades. We're not really doing anything new. We're really just building off of the incredible foundation you laid for us. And Mark, Gordon, and Margot in particular have been invaluable interlocutors and advisors to our project. So I also want to mention that in addition to the exhibitions at the Cantor and the Anderson, there are also exhibitions on campus by Xiao Zhizhi, Jean Shin, and Kim Ano, which you can learn more about using the QR code on your program. And finally, Stanford Bookstores has kindly set up shop outside, right by the registration table, to sell 3 remarkable compendiums of primary source information on Asian American art. And I'm happy to say that all of the authors are in attendance at this convening. And these are volumes that have transformed my understanding of this subject and have shaped it. So I definitely am really glad we have a chance to offer them. So the Asian American Art Initiative is dedicated to the collection, preservation, research, and teaching and public presentation of Asian American and diaspora artists and makers through a series of long-term installations, special exhibitions, research, and education projects. The AAAI fosters in-depth scholarly and public engagement with artists and makers of Asian descent. It is, I think, the educational mission, long-term research focus, and engagement with historical as well as contemporary art that I feel sets the AAAI apart from a lot of the cheap visibility politics that characterizes so much of the recent interest in race in the art world, a paternal liberalism that manages dissent and thus prevents structural change. So the structure of our panels reflects the AAAI's commitment to primary sources and works of art. And our aim of generating dialogue among artists, scholars, curators, and across generations, experiences, and orientations to the fraught, impossible, imperfect term, Asian American. Each speaker was asked to prepare a 10-minute presentation about a single work that speaks to the panel theme. A respondent will offer a 10-minute reflection, followed by 30 minutes of discussion and audience Q&A. And the way that we'll be taking Q&A is you should have had index cards when you walked in, and you can write your questions on index cards, and someone will come and bring them up to the moderator. So prior to the public panels, scholars Mark Dean Johnson, Yinshi Lerman Tan, and Suzette Min presented just remarkable original research on works in East of the Pacific during a private study day in the exhibition. So the convening title, IMU UR2, was coined by Martin Wong, who used it as the title of several works featuring twinned figures. IMU UR2, same and different, bound together in appearance and with an embrace. Depending on how you read the last character, the phrase denotes connection, multiplicity, or ambiguous proximity, among other things. What binds us? Wong's picture seems to ask, the picture at left. Is our togetherness, bondage, solidarity, or both? And what's the difference? IMU UR2 is also the title of Yanvo's installation of objects collected by Wang and his mother, Florence Phi Wang, at Wright. That was also a subject of a book by Vo, Julie Alt, and Heinz Peter Ness. And I'm really honored that they're in the audience here with us today. IMU UR2 traces connection and disconnection across generations and different histories and experiences of migration, exile, war, gender, sexuality, and empire. It is familiar, imaginary, queer. And I suppose IMU UR2 is also my answer to the question that I am asked probably more than any other question in the world. What do you mean by Asian American? So the conversations this weekend will help us shape the future direction of the AAI, and I genuinely don't know what's going to happen, and that's what I'm so excited about. I just asked, the only thing I asked of the speakers this morning in a morning session is that they don't talk about the things they think they should talk about, but have the conversations that they want to have. So now I am pleased to welcome to the stage my brilliant friend, and a scholar, Hentai Yap, who is Associate Professor of Performance Studies at UCSD, who will introduce the first panel on race and aesthetics. Thank you.